I grew up here in LA, fourth generation, which is pretty unusual.
I was born and raised in Southern California. I've been here my whole life, one of the few of us, I think, left that are originally from this place.
I always knew I was going to be a writer in some form, and then I went and found myself an internship at the top agency in New England, and after 6 weeks I had a full-page ad in the Boston Globe that I had done.
And got my undergraduate degree in marketing and ended up more in sort of the marketing at a large global manufacturer.
My daughter, who was 8 months old, had a seizure, which led to a diagnosis of a brain tumor. And during that time, when we didn't really know how it was all going to turn out, Christ called me to himself. And that really set into motion all the events of my adult life. From there on, I just knew that whatever God wanted me to do, that's what I was going to do.
In my house, we didn't go to church. It just wasn't part of our life. It started to become more and more real for me when we put our youngest into a Lutheran elementary school.
I learned a lot about my faith just from going to the children's chapel service at my kids' school.
You do your kids' homework with them, and so you're learning right along. And then I started going to Bible studies, intentional Bible studies, and the master's degree sort of started coming into my thought process. Concordia was clearly on my mind.
At the time, I did not think I was going to go to Concordia. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to go into Orange County, and I'm then going to become one of those people who can't connect with the culture anymore. And from the day I walked into that first class, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
We're not so much about making the students become followers of whatever we happen to think and teach, as we are trying to point them to Christ so that they can grow in their relationship with Christ. Certainly Leann and Heather were quite invested. I mean, they were taking these courses because they deeply cared about the kind of questions that are taken up in all the different courses that go into an MA program.
The professors would unpack words and explain them and bring us back to the original context and the original hearers. And we would hear these words and we'd think, if people really knew the meanings of these words, it wouldn't be so hard to believe. I mean, this is easily translatable into the 21st century.
You're trying to just push them a little deeper to think about questions they may not have pondered before.
After listing all the people in your Old Testament class, just keep going. And
for after just a brief moment, he who is
try to get them to think about those questions. Who is Jesus? What do they do? And more importantly, finally, how does that affect my life in the 21st century?
We started realizing there was a real gap in communication between what the great scholars knew and what the culture was hearing, and that somehow maybe we were supposed to play a small role in filling that gap, which led to forming Icktank. We've published a book and we've spoken many places already, and we're consulting with some churches because this is really where we see the primary problem between the church and the culture. We can't change how people's hearts work and what pace they respond to the invitation of grace, but we can help to unload some of these words.
We like to say we're reclaiming the Christian conversation.